Hello. Let's see, is Instagram working this week? Not sure. That's okay. It worked. Well, let's just say my streaming software has been a little funny lately. Oh, okay, YouTube might be working. Well, that would be nice. I don't know if Instagram is working, but that's okay. Cool. Anyway, hi, thanks for joining. So today I'm going to continue on with this page that I started last week. And in case you're new, I am coloring in Coloring Book of Shadows, Crystal Magic by me, Amy Chesery. And these are instruction-free sessions where I invite you to just relax and do some art with me. You can use any book, any colors, any style. The point is to not get hung up on the outcome, but just enjoy the process. So whatever feels good to you, whatever is fun, whatever colors, whatever, I don't know, just whatever feels good. Hi, Chicago and Washington, Jenny and Lisa, Beth. How are you guys? Thanks for joining. Yeah, whatever feels good. I just want you to enjoy the process. And the point of these is that 20 minutes of coloring can reduce stress and make you feel like way better. So that's what we do here. And in just 20 minutes per week, I've colored the following pages. They're all different and they're all really cool. And so now I'm just going back to finish up this A page. And then last week, no expectations on my art there, but I was kind of just curious about how to make the sphere, the ametrine sphere, look like a sphere. And I was erasing and kind of trying to figure it out. And I would spend some time today looking at photos of ametrine spheres just on Google. And I think I might have figured it out. So kind of interesting. Hi, Shannon and Mel. And if I missed someone else's comment that said hi, they scroll past pretty quick and I can't see them all. So hi, thanks for joining. So something I noticed in these photos of ametrine spheres is like that I might have missed. I was kind of making the highlight in the middle, which could work. But what I've noticed from a lot of these photos is like the darkest, there's like a shadow in the middle. I think it's because the sphere has the most depth there. Like the deepest part of the sphere is the middle, yeah. Let's see, where's my little mechanical pencil? There it is. It just has a small eraser. So not to get hung up on outcome, but I was just curious about things I could do to make this look more like an ametrine sphere, like round. Just out of curiosity. And then also I felt like if I put some citrine going kind of through it more, it might trick the eye to look a little more round. So try it out and see what happens. See what I can do. But otherwise I'll move on to the cluster. Thanks for sharing. That's very nice. Sharing with your friends who like to color. I appreciate that. But yeah, I was just curious. Also, like this highlight over here on this side was looking good to me. I did that with an eraser. And then like deepening that by just making the shadow next to it a little bit darker. Didn't want to get too hung up on that, but I was just as a challenge for myself. I'm always curious about like shading and how to make things look. Like what makes a 2D thing look 3D? I don't know. It's interesting to me. So. Oh yeah, knowing when to erase, totally. And like, yeah, remembering to do so. You can erase pretty well with colored pencils. There's definitely a limit. I mean, if you press super hard or go super dark, like I'm kind of reaching that limit here with some of the darker purple, but feel free to erase, especially in the lighter stages as you're blocking things out. Cool. So that looks more spherical to me. Even just with so I just darkened the middle. And then, yeah, the edges of them are very light. I think there's just a lot of light shining through. And then as you get to the center, it's just deeper color because it's thicker crystal when you're looking through it, right? Very interesting. Okay, cool. Probably call that one done now. And then I have this fun cluster to do. Well, this one is looking pretty good. I like this one. I kept it really light, like with a lot of light transparency coming through, which I kind of like. So I'm not sure how much more I'm going to do on this one. I might just leave this one. Yeah, a little bit of white highlight really adds a lot. And we've talked about it before, but leaving white space is a skill. It's harder than it appears. Like, it's challenging. It's something you got to remember to do. I mean, of course, you can erase it or you can use white pen or paint or something like that too. But leaving white space, the tendency is to just color the whole thing straight through, I think. Like our natural, it seems to me, the natural tendency is to not leave any white, which is fine. I've mentioned before, like coloring things flat with no shading or no white space and no highlights and shadow. Coloring things flat is effective too. And that's it, like on the cover. I did not add any shading to these crystals. They're flat. And I did that on purpose. Like I know how to shade crystals. But for the cover, I decided not to. I decided to leave them flat. It makes it bold. So that's just a stylistic choice. You can do it however you like. And like, just look at your favorite art. Like what appeals to your eye? What style do you like? Do you like shading? Do you like more of a flat look? It's up to you. Just do a little bit more on this one, but not much. I might do the background and then see how that stands out against the background. Okay, and then moving on to this cluster. Oh, and then speaking of shading and covers, so this cover I did add, not a lot, but some subtle shading on some of these elements. And I heard a rumor that the spiral bound versions are showing up early on Amazon. So have a look. The release date for the planners is October 15th, but it's looking good for I'm still going to do like all the official release and emails and stuff like that on the 15th, and just to keep with the schedule and just to give myself time to make sure that everything's set up. But it's looking good for things to start arriving early. So there is actually no like button I can press to make everything go up at the same time. And being late is kind of a being early is better than being late. So I choose to be early rather than late. And yeah, oh Tina, yes. Hint hint, Tina, check Amazon. So I think the black and white version is showing up already, and then the full color version should be following up soon after, like next couple days, early next week type situation going on here. And then I'll get everything set up over the next few weeks. Yeah, it's real early for them, but those spiral bounds that you buy on Amazon, I have to have them printed at a printer, and that can get delayed. And then sending inventory to Amazon can be really scary. Like it can take weeks. It can take weeks to get through their system. But I got lucky this time. They seem to be going really quick. So yeah, so keep your eyes peeled for those. I'm excited. I want to like stop and show it to you right now, but I'm going to just keep coloring. Because I just got this. Okay, fine. I can't help it. I just got the full color spiral bound sample, and it looks really beautiful. I'll just show you a couple pages. So it's an animal magic theme. And yeah, this is my third year doing a full color one. So I think my process and in directing the color and getting, because I have assistants that help me color, but I do the direction, like I plot out what color everything's going to be, and I'm getting better at it. So I think it's the most beautiful one. Look at this little snail. Look how cute he is. Yeah, so that's full color. Black and white, of course. I want you to color along with me. So the raven each month has at least one animal featured, but there's like secondary animals too. Like this magical vulture, and this bear. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. I'm nerve-sighted. Do you ever feel like that? But mostly excited. I've been working on it a long time. If you watched my making of video, they take me over 5 months. It's like a good half of my year or more to do the planner. So when it all kind of comes together at the end, it's exciting. And last year there were weird, crazy issues beyond my control that I had to deal with. But so far, so good this year. Going pretty smooth. We shall see. There's always time for all hell to break loose, but but I can handle it. Shows full color is not available yet. Yeah, but soon, Tina. I think they left my printer yesterday or today, and it only took like 2 days or something to arrive at Amazon and start going through for the black and white version. So the full color is going to show up real soon. It just left a couple days later. Okay. So I'm doing this cluster and just kind of making sure to put some variants Like right there's a good example. I put a real dark facet next to a lighter one. And that just helps to show some definition between the facets. It's a little trick of the eye. All right. That looks pretty good. And then when you leave like real dark and then real light, that makes it look shiny. That's like the trick to make something look shiny, is to put like a big old white highlight against dark. It's a nice trick. Okay. So just do these real quick. And then I want to put my background in. I'm just going to make it simple. I'm going to make it like parchment or like wood. Oh, I have to do that. The bases of those crystal ball holders. That's okay. We'll get there. Yeah, I'm sorry. Someone mentioned they've been buying my planner since 2019. That's awesome. Thank you for making magic with me all these years. I really appreciate it. I always say 2018 was my first year making the planner, but as some of you know, I actually put one out in 2017 that was a little different format. And I think today's the day. September 18th, September 19th, yeah, because it was my wedding anniversary. It's 8 years to the day that I got laid off from my corporate job. And if you're on my email list, if you got the flaming pumpkin sacrifice ritual from this morning that I emailed, that's the ritual that I did. That I was like, oh my God, I got laid off from my corporate job. And I had my first coloring book of shadows started, but it wasn't finished. And I didn't feel, confident enough to like quit my job and just do coloring books for a living. But it was kind of my hand was sort of forced. And that was the ritual. I had to plan a ritual I was in a coven, and it's a California coven where we all took turns high priestessing. I call it a California coven. That's just my own way of, it was like a circle, but we did some deep magic. Anyway, I was the one trying to plan the ritual. And I kind of had I had been growing pumpkins, and I kind of had this idea for the flaming pumpkin ritual, but I wasn't sure. And I got laid off from my job that day, and I stopped at the grocery store on my way home, and I bought the ingredients to give it a little test. And I did that ritual that I sent out in the email this morning on my own. And it was one of the most profound ritual experiences that I had and have had. When you just like are really feeling it, and there was good reason. I was stepping into the unknown. I had been let go from my corporate job, and I really wanted to commit to magic and do my own thing. So I, sat in my backyard with my little flaming pumpkin, and I did that ritual. And here we are 8 years later to the day. So it works. Magic is real. And sure, I'd been planting the seeds on this for a while. 6 months or so, since June. I'd been planting the seeds on it for a while, but it came to fruition. And yeah, it was scary but exciting too. And then my first book came out on Halloween of 2016. Yeah. I don't feel 8 years older, to be quite honest. I know we've talked about this before. Some of us don't feel our age. I feel like a 12-year-old and a 45-year-old's masking as a 45-year-old. You know, like when you wear a trench coat, like kids in a little trench coat, like pretending to be older. That's what I feel like most of the time. Sometimes I feel my wisdom. I don't know. Laura, you're 24. In reality, or in your in how you're in your psyche, you feel 24. I don't know if I ever matured past 12, to be quite honest. Sometimes I feel my wisdom, like I said. I don't know. I guess I still like a lot of childish things, but that's okay. I learned kind of a cool trick for frame of mind this week. Sort of like an affirmation, but it's just like how you phrase the things that you want to manifest, I guess, if you're down with using that word, or the things you want to create or whatever. And it's been interesting. It's been helping me. Like, so the trick is to say, like, instead of saying like I have, like, you know, sometimes you're like, they say to the all-knowing manifestor oracle, sometimes it's said to like state it like you already have it, like, I am abundant, I am successful. But the trick I learned this week that's been really interesting to me is to say I choose. Like, I choose. Oh, like I kind of had a creative block with my painting. So like phrasing it as like, I choose to always know what to paint. I choose to create a style for painting that, you know, resonates with me and feels natural. I choose to have showers with no shower curtains. That one's a way off, but someday I'm not really a fan of shower curtains. That's getting a little off topic, but I'm just saying, you know. And then you can use it for like, you know, sometimes like people leave mean comments, or you read something online and it bothers you. You could say like, I choose to be unbothered by what people say online. You know, I choose to focus. So phrasing it as a choice, like whatever it is you want, phrasing it as a choice has been really interesting for me. And just a little twist. And I think it kind of shows your subconscious that like, ultimately it is a universe of free will. There are definitely things outside of our control, but as I have learned, if you do not choose your own direction, one will be chosen for you. And it's not necessarily going to be what you want or what is right for you. So framing it as a choice, I choose whatever you want. And then just telling yourself that once a day, making a list of the things you choose, even if they haven't happened yet. If you tell yourself that you choose it, I think that's powerful. And that puts you in a position of creation and a position of power. So that was my favorite little tip from the week in my continued studies. like I choose to figure this out or I choose to find the answer. You could use it for like anything. I think it's kind of handy. And it puts the choice back in your hand, you know. You choose to be 24. Oh, fair enough, Laura. I was injured when I was 24, so to be quite honest, at 45, I feel a lot better than I did when I was 24. I was not in a great state back then. I fell on my ass off a skateboard a couple years earlier, and it was pretty bad. But I'm okay now. And I'm leaving a lot of white space here. Cool. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, so definitely, let's see here. That middle one looks good. It just needs a little more definition to my eye. Just to make it stand out from the background a little bit. I'm going to try to leave a lot of white in the middle. But I'm going to like shade the edges for sure. And then I want to leave the citrine like a couple highlights, but let's see. Let's see what I can do. Without losing too much of my carefully placed highlights there. Cool, that's looking good. A little bit more. I want to keep that highlight, but looks very shiny and citrine there. Tone it down just a little. Awesome. That made a big difference. Still going to go a little bit darker on some of these corners, I think. And I think that, yeah, that looks good. That'll really make it stand up off the page or against the background. Oh man, we're 30 minutes in already. Time flies. That was fun though. It's looking good. Okay, let's see. Let me see what I can do to finish up real quick here. Not that I have to finish it in today's session, but might as well since I'm so close. Cool. I love it. And then this, oops, out of the lines. Oh well. I think I can erase that real quick. Not that it matters too much, but just add a little definition to this letter A, and that's it for today. This page is done. Beautiful. And there's my ametrine themed letter A section. Oh my God, I finished the entire A section. How exciting. You know what that means? Next week, I move on to the letter B. And I think I know what I'm going to do for that. I have a Bix Bite note here, which is the type of barrel. It's red. And I think I'm going to go like red and turquoise. I love red and turquoise together. So I think I'm going to make the crystals red and do like sort of a turquoise background, and we'll give it a really cool contrast. So thank you for joining me. Post your coloring in the group and I'll post mine. And have a great week and an awesome Mabon this weekend. I hope you do something magical to celebrate, even if it's something simple. Take a little time for